Happy Monday! Hello, everybody. It has been 2 weeks since we've seen each other, and I was super stoked to be in Monday again. However, I am not going to be live tonight. I have a family event to go to, and my presence is seriously needed. So I have recorded this ahead of time with you in mind to make sure that I do not leave you yet another Monday without getting your weekly ammunition. So stay with me. We're still talking about the three selves of self-care, and we will be discussing the current self and how to give the you right now permission to grow. Alrighty, so I will be back in 2 minutes. Stay with me. Even though I'm not live, stay with hello again. And hello, this is going to be so interesting and weird all at the same time because you're not here with me. So I'm kind of talking to myself. Some would say I should be pretty experienced in that because I just like to talk. But so our topic today is going to be the current self. And I really hope everybody has been loving on themselves. I hope that everybody has been putting in that work. You know, it's work time. It's time. I feel like if you've been following me for any amount of time, that you have gotten to a point where you have learned so many tools along the way that now when I start saying, hey, let's put in the work, that you have enough in your quiver to be able to move forward courageously, boldly, and with enough I can to do this. And we're talking today about giving your current self permission to grow. First, I want to just really give kudos to Yolanda Rushing Yates, who gave me this awesome word. And it was so on time because, there's always opportunities to grow. Every day, it is my belief that you're given so many opportunities. Rather, it's the person that you come in contact with that you may bump heads with. It's the person on your job. It's your spouse. It's your family member. It's whatever, the bills that come in the mail. It's the, the raise you don't get, the raise you do get, the new car, the whatever comes into your immediate circle are opportunities for us to grow. And if we're not careful, we'll see them as our enemies. We'll see these opportunities as the devil, as some people say, that ain't nothing but the devil. No, everything's not the devil. Or we'll say, this person or that person's not good for me. Sometimes they are opportunities for growth. When you bump heads with people, opportunity to grow. When you and your spouse don't agree, opportunity to grow. When you find something that you really, really believe in challenged, it's an opportunity to grow. And so, why is this important now? Getting back to my friend Yolanda Rushing Yates. She, so I digress a little bit. We have an opportunity, my husband and I. We've been looking at growing or expanding our business, and a property came up that is looks great. But the first thing I thought was, is the timing is crazy, but everything in me is saying, yeah, but go. And I'm like, it don't line up. I'm like, what I feel does not line up with what I see, And so I was like, but it's the timing. And then she said to me, it's not about your timing, it's about God's timing. And his timing does not always line up with your timing. It's what he sees and what he says. And if he says go, then go. And I said, wow, it went right in line with what I was feeling on the inside, like that go, that tug. And I know that some of you, you're feeling that. Rather it's about business, rather it's about having that conversation that you've been avoiding for years, rather it's about forgiving that person, or it's about taking that job or taking that leap of faith or starting that business or quitting that business. Whatever it is, we have to give ourselves permission to grow, which means stretching. There is no growth that does not involve some sort of pain. When I used to go to the gym a lot, I remember I used to come home and say, oh God, I hurt so good, because it hurt, but you knew it was for purpose. And so we're going to park there for a minute, hurt and hurting, having purpose, that purposeful hurt. I like that. I think I'm going to put that in my quiver. Purposeful hurt, when it's not comfortable. The conversation is not comfortable. The move is not comfortable. All the lights are not green. Some of them are yellow. It's those yellow lights, right? That throw us off. They give us like, oh my God, yes or no, God, just tell me left or right. What do I do? It's the yellow lights that really, really confuse us. But it's in those moments, that we get stretched. Your faith gets stretched. Your ability to take a little bit more, it gets stretched. Having that difficult conversation stretches you, and it hurts sometimes. It hurts because you're in the world of the unknown. You're in this place where it's not comfortable. You're in this place where everything doesn't line up. Everything doesn't make sense. And we need that. Right? That's our comfort. Our comfort level is, okay, everything makes sense. And I just knew it, it's very rare you get those type of stories where people say everything just lined up and I just knew it. I said, just go. Somewhere down the line, any Fortune 500 company, any multi-millionaire will tell you that there was many moments of uncertainty. There was many moments where they thought, ooh, should I have taken that pill? That Morpheus moment where you take that pill and then you be like, Now, can we do over, erase, 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 right? You're like, abort the mission. So we have those moments, and those moments are okay because those moments are those checkpoints, I like to call them. You're going through this journey, you're on this road, and then you get these little checkpoints in your life that make you say, where do I go now? Some of us are in that valley of decision. Some of us are literally at that dead end. And we're like, okay, go left or go right. What do I do? Take the job. Don't take the job. Stay at the job. Quit. Live off of one income or continue to grind. Marry this guy. Stay single. Do we want to have children? Let's not right now. There's so many decisions, but they all require a stretching. They all require a stretching. And so as I was talking to Miss Yates, I started thinking like, ooh, do I want to be stretched like this? I'm already stretched. Those of you who know, I'm opening up another business, and I'm already feeling stretched. And so it's like, ooh, do I now stretch more? I'm like, eventually the rubber band might break. I don't know. Do I want to be stretched? Do I want to? How much faith is in the actual mustard seed? It's like that's a very small but powerful seed. And it's like, what's smaller than the mustard seed? Is that where my faith is? I don't know, but we need to be stretched, and we have to allow ourselves to be stretched. We have to give our current selves permission to grow. And what does that look like? What does that look like? That looks like this. It looks like this. It's allowing yourself to see the good and the bad. So, since I'm here by myself and I don't have anyone to talk to, I'm going to use props. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Piece of paper. Very simple. This is a tool. It's free. Throw it in your quiver when we're done. This is a simple way of handling some of the simple situations that we find ourselves in. Take a piece of paper, fold it in half. I wish I had some music. Fold it in half. Nothing on this side. No, okay, let me stop. Okay, so you fold it in half. Right. And then if you open it, you see you have two pieces. So what you're going to do is use your handy dandy pen that's my daycare years, notebook. Okay, so you're going to take it and you're going to write on one side, pros, and on the other side, cons. It'll look like this, pros and cons. Okay, so you are looking at a situation that you're facing, and it's going to take some stretching. It's going to take some growing, and you want it. That's the first thing. Make sure that it's something that you want. Okay. Something that you want and you've been getting permission to have. Okay. Now that means God has said go, husband has said go, whatever it is, you've been given permission. And that in itself, let's park here for a minute, just having permission to do something that looks different for everybody. And for me, my permission is always going to be when God says. So if God says yes, then my next thought is going to be, okay, so if God says yes, then that means husband has to be on board. Not always. Okay. So things are not always going to line up. So, and I don't know why I'm going here, but we're going here, okay? Things don't always line up as far as all the green lights, everything being green all the way down your journey. It doesn't always line up like that. So sometimes we know that we have a yes, but everybody else may not know. But a wonderful, wonderful woman told me, everybody catches on fire or catches the flame, however she worded it, at different times. So if you would imagine a house being on fire, it doesn't just combust. I mean, like, unless there's a complete explosion. Let's just say it's a small fire, okay? Just work with me. And it may start in the kitchen, and then something else catches a fire, now in the living room, now in the dining room, the bathroom, goes all the way up the stairs. It takes its time getting, because everything has to ignite. That's good, Omar. Everything has to ignite at a different time. So when you're getting ready to make that decision, when you're getting ready to grow, when you're getting ready to step out on faith on something, everybody's not going to be on board. Hear me. Everybody's not going to say, yes, rah, rah, sis kumbaya. Everybody's not going to do that, okay? They haven't caught the flame. It's been given to you. You're the one with the switch. You're the one that has to make the decision, I'm going. And when you make that decision, you strike the match. You strike the match, okay? And so you're on fire. You can see it clearly how it's going to work. You have all the vision. You've made your pros, you made your cons. You wrote down on the back all of the points, what you've done, your business plan, whatever it is that you're doing. You've already got everything. And then you go and you say, so-and-so, rather it's sister, brother, husband, wife, business partner. This is the idea. Cricket, cricket, cricket. No, nothing, no balloons go in the air, no fireworks, no explosives. It's just you. Yeah. How am I this silly by myself? Oh, Lord. You guys are really getting you're really getting an inside view of what goes on in my head, because I literally have conversations like this by myself, with myself. Yes, I'm by myself. Yes. All right. We're going to do it. But then everybody else is looking at you like this. Yeah. They haven't caught the flame yet, because it wasn't given to them. It was given to you. To you. It's your baby. You're pregnant with it. Nobody else is pregnant. They're on the outside waiting. They don't know what it's going to look like. They have no idea what you're carrying, but you do. You've got the vision. God showed you, or you had a dream, or some wherever your vision came from, you know it's going to work. Now, you give yourself permission to grow. Give yourself permission to grow. That was a commercial break. Pros and cons. That's the list, okay? Pros, cons. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your list and you're going to literally write it down. All the things that makes this a good idea. All the things that makes this a bad idea. And you're literally going to just write them down. And you're going to ask other people, what you think about it? Now, Park, asking people to help your vision, to help you grow, to help you stretch, okay? They are useful. They're not the devil. They're useful. Go to that cantankerous one. Go to that glass half empty one. Let them give you the worst case scenario. Fill it up. Fill it up. This is going to be important. I'm going to tell you why later. But it's important to have your cons. All that. So you got your pros, you got your cons, right? You're trying to grow. You're trying to grow. And right now I'm talking about business, but I'm not just talking about business. I'm also talking about, do I date this guy? Do I marry this woman? Do I quit my job? Do I don't know, create a podcast? Yeah. This works for any and every situation you find yourself in. Now, granted, there are some that are way more difficult than just this paper, but you always start here. I always start here because you have to see it. outside of your vision. Okay, lesson from way back, way back. Remember, stepping outside of yourself. God has given us the ability to do that. So this is part of stepping outside of yourself. This has no personality to it. There's no buy-in. There's no agendas. This is just facts. Pros, cons. Buy a new car. Don't have a job. But I need a car so I can get a job. Yeah, but can't afford to put gas in it. How you gonna get it registered? Oh, but I do have some money in my savings. Oh, but you see what I mean? It just facts. This is the fact sheet. Okay, this has nothing to do with faith. It has nothing to do with, but God said. It's just facts. Just the facts, ma'am. That's all this is. So we're still talking about giving yourself permission to grow. Do not think that I'm off topic, because I'm not. Giving yourself permission to grow. Okay. Now, after you've made your list, you go to the person that you know is a Debbie Downer. Boo, boo you. Everything you do fails. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Please do. I need you to. So that you can put all of those things down. Okay. Then you go to your helpmeet. All those wonderful people that says, whatever you touch grows, Omara, go for it. Thank you. So you go to them and they give you all of those wonderful, wonderful things. Oh, because you're tenacious. Oh, remember how you didn't want to start this and you did it. Look at how much money you made with this, and look at this and look at that. And if you do this, okay. All of the fluffy cotton. And it just goes right here. I'm sorry, here. Don't put it up here. It all goes right here. All those wonderful things about yourself. All of those things, that's why it's going to work. All that goes on here. This is that friend that just, I don't care what you say, you're going to sell trash lids to homeless people, because when they get that money, they need a trash lid. But that's the people you want to talk to, because they'll say, yeah, it works. I'll tell you why. Because when I was homeless, that's the place that you want. You want all the information on both sides. Okay. Hold on one second. It's hard to just keep talking. I hope when you guys are watching this on the replay, put some things in there so I can come back and read and just know that I really was not talking to myself only. Let me show you my cup. I don't know if I showed you guys this one. So, as you know, I collect cups. People buy me cups. And this one I got for myself because I saw it and it was just so awesome. If you don't like Edna, boo you. But look. Wait. Okay, wait. Where is it? Look. Remember all of those? If you don't love Edna, wait. I never look back, darling. It distracts from the now. That's my favorite part of the whole movie. Never look back. Distracts from the now. Look. No capes. I love this and I love that movie. Okay, that was a commercial break. Gave me enough time to breathe. Hopefully you put some things inside the chat box. And you're saying, your pros and cons. I don't know. Let me throw a question out there, I guess, because if you're going to watch it in the replay, then maybe you can answer the question. But you might just have me in your ear walking around. But who's on your pros and your cons list? Let's think about that. I have been blessed to have an equal amount of both people in my life. You know who you are, but I love you both the same because both of you are so instrumental to me. So who's on your pros list? Who's the one that's like, you can do it? Go, 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 go. Who's on your pros list and who's on your cons list? And let me just say this, because I've learned to love the people on my cons list. And I'm going to tell you why. We'll get there, I promise. Just wait, just wait, just wait. I've come to love the people on my cons list. Because if can't nobody stretch you, people on your cons list, they stretch you because they see every single negative thing about you. They are the ones that's like, they see those areas that sometimes you don't see. And I know that we've been taught that if they're not for you, then they're against you. So get rid of them. Boo you, get out of my life. I need to purge you. I need to purge you. And to a certain extent, I agree that yes, you don't need all of that toxicity going into your brain, going into your mind, going into your spirit. No, it's not healthy. But when you learn that everything, the yin and the yang of everything, even the cons become attributes. Even the cons build you. Even the cons make you better. Even the cons stretch you, and it's a good hurt. So cons, who's on your list? Who's on your cons list? Is it mom? Is it dad? Is it spouse? Is it children? Who's on it? Just make sure it's not you. But who's on your cons list? Who's on your pros list? Who are those people? Who are those who's always cheering you on? Who's always pushed you? Who never lets you be down? It could be a coworker. Sometimes those are the best. They come in, hi-ho! They're always excited and they lift you up and they're just wonderful. So who's on your pros list and who's on your cons list? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I need you to. Please don't make me think I'm going insane because I'm talking to myself. This is so weird. But at the same time, I love it. Something's wrong with me. However, so put it on your pros list. Put it on your cons list. Tell me who they are. I want you to literally write their names down. Do the work. We're still working. Even though I'm listening to you or seeing what you're writing or whatever, I'm still here. Put in the work. Who's on your pros list? Who's on your cons list? Write it down. Actually, I even have time to. Why didn't I think of getting some theme music? Next time, be prepared. If I do this again, I'm gonna have my own theme music and everything. So, pros list, cons list. Put the names down. Who are these people? You know who they are. They're usually the people that you hate. Those are on your cons list. And the people that you love are on your pros list. That's usually how we do it. If I like you, you're on my pros. If I don't like you, you're on my cons. Make the list. Okay. Now, if you didn't make the list, please remember, go back, make the list, do the work. Okay. So you have your pros and you have your cons. Now, after you've made your list, all you're going to do is just observe it. Wait, I should have put down all the wonderful things. So let's just say, all right, here's your list. You've done your pros, you've done your cons. Now, looking at your list, your pros outweigh your cons, right? So if you're going strictly by the list, it's a no-brainer. Do it. Do it. Now, here is where the faith part comes in, okay? So there's going to be times where you need to be stretched, okay? Now, if you're looking at my list, my pros and my cons are pretty close, right? They're pretty close. This is where the faith comes in. This is where how much do you want to be stretched comes in. So a lot of times I just go off my list. If it looks like this, that's a no-brainer. I'm going with this one. But when it gets close like this, that's when I gotta ask myself, how much do you want to be stretched? Should I have this conversation with my auntie? We fell out 2 months ago, and I'm just making this up. I love you, aunties. Okay, so I fell out with my auntie, and I have not spoken to her in 2 months, and I know that I need to have this conversation with her. But every time I have a conversation with her, it just gets ugly. We end up just make the list. So I make the list. All the pros of talking to my auntie. She's my auntie, number one. She's family. I love her. We have been through so much together. Um, it's a possibility that I may have been in my emotions. She's been trying to reach me. She's called several times. She even came over, right? So I'm making my list. On this side, the stress is a killer. She's toxic. She's argumentative. She doesn't let me get a word in edgewise. She's da 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 da. Da, da, da. So I write down all these things, right? And it's about like this. How much do you want to be stretched? Permission to grow. Access, permission to enter, sir. Permission to grow. Permission to grow. How much do I want to be stretched? In order to rectify this situation, how much do I want to be stretched? Right? Now I can hear you. I can hear you even though you're not speaking to me. I can hear you saying, I'm already stretched so thin. I'm at my end. I'm at the end. I'm at the end. There's no more stretch. This rubber band's about to pop. So we go back to the list. And we say, let's look at the pros. She's my auntie. That doesn't usually carry a lot of weight, especially nowadays. Auntie, sister, mama, people don't care. She's family. People really don't care about family. Doesn't hold too much weight. We've been through a lot and I love her. That's it right there, right? That's it right there. You're going to circle that. It's a possibility that I was in my feelings. You're going to circle that. Do you remember on this side when I had, I don't know what I said. What, she's cantankerous. She doesn't let me get in the word edgewise. She's toxic. She's a bully. She's an emotional bully. And she's a physical bully. And she hits me. And, she always has to get things her own way. She did, right? So then you're going to look at your cons list, right? She's toxic. I'm going to say it. I don't care if you like it or not. I mean, I care, but I have to say it anyway. She's toxic. Overrated. Everybody's toxic. For the most part, now it's like, you don't agree with me. We always argue. You're toxic. Or I'm not giving myself permission to grow. Just throwing it out there. That's a commercial break. So she's toxic. Throw that one out. She doesn't let me get in the word edgewise. Throw that one out because there's a thing called effective communication. Takes care of that. She's an emotional bully. Well, you know what you're going into, so you get to use the shield. Look in your quiver and get all of those things that protect you from emotional bullies, right? Because the main thing that's on this pro list is I love her. And we've been through a lot together, which means it's a relationship worth saving. Is the relationship worth saving? Do I stretch? Do I grow? You have to now give yourself permission. Okay. We're getting ready to go into the how-tos. Okay. I'm just trying to set the stage. Okay. Looking at your cons list. She, right? All the she's. Most of those are irrelevant because what we're looking at are personality issues. They're personality issues. And most of those personality issues can be handled with effective communication skills. Most of those personality issues can be handled by drawing that healthy line. Most of those personality issues can be can be solved by using the shield, taking your shield with you that protects you from the arrows that you know are coming because it's a personality trait. Now, we're going to stay with this scenario. So now we realize that I love her and we've been through a lot together. She's always been there for me. She's just cantankerous. She's old, and she gets on everybody's nerves. How do you give yourself permission to grow here? How do you give yourself permission to grow here? Right? Here's where we find ourselves. I'm tired of always being the one to apologize. I'm tired of always being the one to fix it. I'm tired of always being everybody's doormat. I'm tired of her always talking to me any kind of way and me letting it go, or me having to be the bigger person. I'm tired of being the bigger person. I'm tired of saying, give it to Jesus. I'm sick of it. I'm over her. Even if I do love her and we've been through a lot, I'm over it. Well, here's how you give yourself permission to grow. You ask yourself this question: is the relationship worth saving? Whatever's on your pro list sometimes can be so profound that it trumps what's on this list. When it's close like this, that pro, some of those pros can trump it all. But only you can decide that. How do I grow from here? Right? Most of our issues are relational issues. Most of our issues where we stop growing, where we stop stretching, are because they're heart issues. It's because they hurt here. My auntie hurt me here. My mom hurt me here. My dad hurt me here. My sister, my brother, my cousin, my boss, my coworker, they hurt me here. And so we go, I'm going to be a baby. I'm not growing any further. I'm not going any further. I'm not doing anything else because I refuse it. And most of us are walking through our lives just like this. Most of us, we're throwing tantrums. We're doing all these things because we have not been given permission to grow. By who? Ourselves. Remember, we're always going to go back to that young part of us that gives us permission to grow beyond the pain, to grow beyond the hurt, to grow beyond the misunderstanding, to grow beyond the disappointment, to grow beyond the injustice. We have to give ourselves permission to grow. Is it worth saving? Is the job worth saving? Is the car worth saving? Is the relationship with this person worth saving? And let me say this. I'm not saying is the stress worth it. No. I'm not saying is the situation worth it. No. I'm saying, is the person that's in your life right now, whatever that relationship is, was, can be, is it worth saving? And that's the question that only you can ask, because if it's worth it, then you'll give yourself permission to grow. You'll give yourself permission to have that conversation. You'll give yourself permission to forgive. You'll give yourself permission to step out on faith. You'll give yourself permission to quit. You'll give yourself permission to submit the paperwork for the business license. You'll give yourself permission because it has to be worth it to you in order for you to give yourself permission. You will not give yourself permission if it's not worth it. Is the hill worth climbing? Now, to answer that, you have to step outside of yourself. Hence, just the facts. Just the facts. You have to step outside of yourself, because if you try to answer it from the inside, an internal question, then the answer comes from the heart, because out of the heart the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance. So you can't ask the question from in here. You can't say, okay, I'm going to continue to do X, Y, and Z because of what you feel here. Parents still allowing grown children to do the most ridiculous things in your home. We can't answer from here. We can't. Spouses who still being extremely mistreated by their other spouse or by their children or people who's being mistreated at work or people who are doing because of this. But I love them. But they've been through so much. Is it worth is shielding them, is protecting them? Again, I don't know why I'm here, but is protecting our children from growing up? Is it worth sacrificing our own sanity, our own comfort, our own finances, our own money, our own house, our own sanity, just to protect our babies who are not babies? They're too big to sit on our laps. We can no longer rock them. Is it worth it? Only you can answer that. And if that's the case, then that's why sometimes we have to go to the facts. We got to just look at it. This is killing us. It's killing my bank account. It's killing my joy. It's killing my peace. It's killing my sanity to keep doing the same thing every day. When I used to have a job, and I'm not lying. Every day that I went to work, when I pulled around this corner to pull into the parking lot, the parking structure, I wasn't even into the actual job, but just pulling onto that street, I would start heart palpitations. Oh God. It was stressful. So then I had to ask myself this question: is it worth it? Is it worth it to go to work every day? You're taking Tums. You're in your 20s. Are you kidding me? This is too much stress. Is it worth it to stay on this job, which was a real choice I had to make? Stay on this job or quit and go back to school, get your degree so that you can do something better. Is it worth it to quit? I don't know. So I found myself going off on stress leave. No, it's not worth it. It's affecting my body. It's affecting my sanity. It's affecting me. I started getting stressed out on Sunday before Monday even got there because I knew I had to go to work. Is it worth it? Was it worth me being stressed out at work, coming home, spewing all kind of craziness on the kids and everybody else within a close radius, arm's reach? Was it worth that? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. So to go to the doctor, and I'm not talking about that stress leave people take because they just want a vacation. My doctor was like, everything's high. All your levels are out of control. What is going on? I was literally stressed. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. And yes, I did put in my 2 weeks, but I had to. Oh my God. I made like 3 of these. Because I had 2 little ones at home. Trying to decide, do I really want to go home to my mama? No, I do not. And so you have to give yourself permission to grow. You have to give yourself permission to step off the ledge. You have to give yourself permission to go into the unknown, what you don't see, what you don't know what's on the other, what you don't know. You don't know what's on the other side. You don't know what's going to happen. Even in having a conversation, is it worth it? You don't know what they're going to say. You think you know what they're going to say. I have been proven wrong so many times because I thought this person thought this. And I thought they were going to respond like this. And I thought, send me thumbs up, give me some hearts or something. I don't care if we're in live or not, because I know if you're watching this, you've done it too. You thought something. You thought this person felt this way about you, and you found out it had nothing to do with you. This person didn't come to your birthday party. You were upset about it. You thought, oh my God, I thought we were close, but you gave me some old cockamamie excuse and da 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 da. And then you found out that they didn't come because their auntie got sick, or they were on their way and the car broke down. They were actually stranded for hours waiting for somebody to come get them while you was at your party mad and didn't call to check on them because you thought they were ditching you. It's so many times that I thought something was going on and I wasn't even close. So you don't know. It's that stretching. It's that I'm going to make this phone call. And you may be thinking, as soon as they see my name, they're not going to pick up. They're going to send me the voicemail. I already know it. So I'm not even going to make the phone call. But you got that thing in you that says it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Right now, I'm talking to somebody that is hearing it's worth it. It's worth it. You do miss that person. You love that person. It's worth it. It's worth it. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to open my own business. I want to be able to work hours. I want to spend time with my children. It's worth it. It's worth it. I want to go back to school. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. Oh my God. I don't know. I don't want to be in debt. It's worth it. It's worth it. So find a way to pay, find the grants, spend the time, go to the library, find out where the free money is, find it. It's out there and it's worth it. You're sitting there and you're saying, oh my God, I'm so sick of him. I'm sick of being sick of him. I just want a divorce. But is it worth it? Your love for him is worth it. It's worth it. What you guys have been through is worth it. It's worth it. It's worth trying again. It's worth the hope. It's worth making that marital counseling call. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. So that is when you can give yourself permission to grow. You have to first see the worth in being stretched. Unless you see the worth in being stretched, you will not give yourself permission to grow. You won't do it. You won't do it. So what is it that you've been struggling with? What is it that you've been sitting in there in your room or driving in a car? Or if you're like me, I drive in silence, not all the time, but I like to drive in silence sometimes because I need time to think, and so you might just be driving and that thing is just coming to your mind, all these things that you want to do, those dreams that you want to, that you thought you were going to be living already, those relationships that you let fall to the wayside because you just didn't have the energy anymore. You just didn't have the hope. You just didn't want to be disappointed anymore. So you let them go. But not a day goes by that you don't think about them. Not a moment goes by that you don't miss them. You might be watching TV, something's funny, and you want to pick up the phone and call them, but I forgot I'm mad at them. I'm not talking to them. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to just put yourself out there again? To just try again, hope again? And I mean, am I saying that because you do it? Because you put yourself out there? Because you made your handy dandy list that everything's going to work out? I'm going to say this, that it can. Relationships are tricky. They're very tricky, I was always told it takes two to tango. It takes two of us to make it work. To a certain degree, yes, that's true. But man, in living this life and in this field, I've seen one person carry it for a while. I really have. And then all of a sudden, that second person wakes up. And then life is great. But it's just, it really is a personal question. It really is a personal choice that you have to make, that you have to say, is it worth it? Is it worth it to go back to school? Is it worth it to open up that business? Is it worth it to purchase that home? Is it worth it to start that second or third or fourth business? Is it worth it to miss your children's game? Is it worth it to not be there for your spouse? Is it worth it there's all of these opportunities to grow. As I said from the very beginning, life gives you opportunities. Every situation that you face, from the time you open your eyes to the time you close them, are full of opportunities. They're full of left turns, right turns, stops, pauses, full speed aheads. They're full of U-turns. They're full of all of these things, yielding, and I can go through every single, probably street sign I could think of, but I'll save you from that. But is it life? Life does it. It gives us all of these options and all of these opportunities. But the expectation is that we never leave this earth the same way we started it. We don't leave this earth as cantankerous. And I don't know why that's my word today. I must have somebody in mind. But you don't leave this earth the same way you came into it. You don't leave this earth, having achieved nothing because you were afraid. Having, to die, and your children don't even come to your funeral. Wow. That says a lot. To have, riches and still be so lonely. To have nothing and nothing to show for the nothing. It's just, there's opportunities every day. And what we do with those opportunities is on us. It's what we give ourselves permission to face, what we give ourselves permission to go through, what we give ourselves permission to see to the end. Life is not for the weak or the faint of heart. It's really not. It's really not. But we've been given so many tools. We've been given so much. There's so much inside of our quivers that we can make it through this thing. We can make it through this thing because your future self needs your current self to grow, needs you to stretch, needs you to believe, needs you to have some faith, needs you to have hope, needs you to try. Needs you to put in the work. She needs you to put in the work now. Now, regardless of yesterday, regardless of 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, 15 years ago, the work, it has to be put in. We can't get anywhere without the work. So, giving yourself permission to grow. It looks like weighing the cost. That's all this is. That's all this is. Weighing the cost. You weigh the cost. Is it worth it? What will it take from me? What does it take to say I'm sorry? What does it take to say forgive me? What does it take to say I'll do better next time? What does it take? Pride? What is the cost of pride? What is it worth to you to maintain your pride? What does that even mean? To maintain, my pride won't let me apologize. My pride won't let me call him. My pride won't let me. What does that really mean? Your ego, your vanity, your arrogance, what does that mean? To be stretched. To go a little extra mile, a lot of times we say, and I'm closing, a lot of times that we say, I'm laughing because someone told me that every time I get ready to close, I get my therapeutic voice, and now I can hear it. Okay. But, and now I lost my train of thought. How you lose your train of thought? No one's talking but you. And there's nobody to help me but me. So I can't rewind it. But okay, so bottom line, moral of the story is, we definitely have to just get to a place where we look around ourselves Take a look around. Look at your friends. Look at your bank account. Look at your family. Look at your children. Look at look at your job. Look at your dogs. Your pets. Look at just look at your life. You know, Step back and just facts. No opinions, no emotions, no oh my god. It's just facts. You know. I know I put an emotion in my scenario as I love her and we've been through a lot, but just facts. Looking at everything, not making excuses for it, not saying, well, I'm this way because just look at it. What does it look like? You know, where do you need to be stretched? Some of us just need to be stretched with freaking clean the kitchen, clean out the closet, take out the trash. Let the Give yourself room to park your actual car in your garage. Californians, I don't know what, just park your car in the garage. Get all the rest of the stuff out. Splurge a little bit. Get a storage. you know, um, just taking a look around. Is your spouse happy? Are your children happy? Are you robbing Peter to pay Paul? Does one bill have to wait so you can pay another bill? Maybe it's time for the job, a better job. Maybe it's time to go back to school. Maybe it's time to open your own business. Look at your friends. Are they doing nothing? Are they not any higher than you? Do they not push you? Do they not encourage you? Do they not live what they preach? Or do you not have any friends? Are your friends as miserable as you? Those are things that really needs to be looked at. Do you find yourself like getting up in the morning and do you even look in the mirror? Or do you only look long enough to make sure that you got the stuff out of your mouth and the man out of your stuff out of your eyes and the man out of your mouth? Do you only look in the mirror long enough for that? Or are you really looking into yourself introspectively? Are you trying to see, are the I's dotted? Are your T's crossed? I can't answer that, only you can answer that. And only you can decide what's worth being stretched for. Some things are dead. I get that. Some relationships are just, they're dead. Both parties may have to decide to resurrect that. And sometimes relationships appear to be dead. Sometimes the other party's just waiting for that phone call. And they'll be like, clear. Where do you need to be stretched? What area, what part of your life is waiting for permission to grow? Everybody can't be wrong. Everybody can't be at fault, Some things it's just us. Some things it's just our areas where we need to grow. We need to mature. We need to get better. And it's possible. It's doable. It really, really is. We just have to weigh the cost and then decide that we're going to be tenacious about it. We're going to go at it full steam ahead. We're going to keep going. We're going to find a way to solve the problem. We're going to be solution focused, and because it's worth it. It's worth it. And because we see the end, and what we see now is not comfortable enough anymore to what we see way down there. And we need to get there. We get from here to there. And it all starts with permission. Giving yourself that permission. Loving yourself enough to be more than where you are. To be more than what you currently see right now. To dig deeper and pull up that part of you that has yet yet to arrive. Giving yourself permission, you know, um, that's really kind of all it takes, you know, and it's work. You know, I'm always going to tell you that, you know, you got to put in the work. And so I'm hoping that this has been a blessing to somebody, as it was to me when my girlfriend um, gave me this word and was telling me that's not about our timing, it's about God's timing. And I began to think, you know, to myself, like, what's what would hold me back, you know? And it's that stretching, you know, that faith, that, you know, that inner man working, doing that work, you know. For me to get from here to there, it's going to take some work. But again, I hope this has been ammunition for your week. I hope you feel encouraged. Again, don't forget to speak to me, talk to me. I know this is the first time I've ever done a pre-recorded video, but and forgive me, please. I did make this with you in mind, so you would have something. And I will be back here next Monday, live. And so I love to hear what you thought. Even put it in the chats, you know, if you liked it, didn't like it, you know, if it was okay, you know, from in my absence. Again, I am Omari Lee. I'm your life coach, whether you know it or not. And this has been my Mending Mondays. And I hope to see you back here again live next Monday at the same time.